Hey everybody, welcome back. Press Play Action. Mitchell Lee, Brandon 2, Tommy Grant. And guys, we have finally gotten to the time for David Fincher. I know we talked about Alien
Finally got
3.
an episode where I liked both movies.
We talked about Alien 3, talked about Social Network in my 2010 review, talked about Girl with the Dragon Tattoo if Tommy ever deems the 2011 best of, worst of to be released to the public. But this is the official.
In the vault.
Yeah, everything's in the vault right now, man. David Fincher. He officially gets his double feature as we're talking about Fight Club. I know it's breaking one of the rules, but it is what it is. We got to do it. And we got to talk about Se7en. So
there's a lot of people talking about Fight Club in this movie.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
Every single review that I've seen for Fight Club mentions that they're not supposed to be talking about Fight Club, and I'm going to be honest, we're no better than anyone else. You just kind of have to do it.
The low hanging fruit is also there.
Yeah. The low hanging fruit does taste good. So, all right, let's start this thing off with the two of the movies that got released first. That being the movie Se7en, and this one September 22nd of 1995. Brandon, this movie right here has an 8.6 on IMDb. It is the number 20 movie.
As it should.
The number 20 movie on the IMDb top 250. As far as Letterboxd is concerned, it is number 90 on their list with a 4.4.
I think Letterboxd is stupid. No, just kidding.
I love Letterboxd, but
I should use it more.
This movie stars Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, someone else that we'll get to as we get further along.
A John Doe, you say?
Yeah. This movie had a $34 million budget. It made $327 million. This was a giant success, and it was the 9th highest grossing movie in North America of 1995, making $100 million. Now, guys, weirdly enough, there were 4 movies that made $100 million exactly. Not 99, not 101. Yes, it was like 100.1 or 100.8, but $100 million. 4 movies. Can you tell me the other 3? Of course, with Se7en being one of them.
Wait, you mean like right on the dot, $100 million?
$100 million.
In 1995?
In 1995. Is there an echo in here?
Okay. No, I just wanted to clarify. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is one of them. You got it.
You're cheating. You're looking at that shit.
No way. Every Die Hard sequel makes $100 million.
That is not true.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I'm calling
Toy Story's.
No, Toy Story was the highest grossing movie of 1995.
Okay. Okay, and it did not make 100.
191.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take a card out of Brandon's book and go Jumanji.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Every game.
Yeah, and speaking of eating pumpkins, we got a horror movie for the kids. I don't even know if it is a horror movie because I've never seen it. That being Casper.
You've never seen
Scooby-Doo level of horror. It's not horror, but it's Halloween-ish.
Halloween for the kids.
Yeah,
but this is Halloween for if you take your kids to see Se7en, you need the Child Protective Services called on you.
What's the last movie then? If it's Casper, Die Hard, and Jumanji, what's the last?
Those are the 3, Brandon.
Oh, those were the 3. Okay.
Yeah, the 4th one is Se7en.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just looking up how much Pocahontas made. Disney was rolling in money in 1995.
Oh, yes, they were. Toy Story, Pocahontas. Good year for them. They did not make Se7en. Very much not a Disney movie.
Very much not a Disney movie?
Although maybe you can find it on Disney Plus, and, they just have everything now. This is David Fincher after Alien 3, so he's like, all right, I got to get it back out there. And get back out there he did with this movie that, you saw the IMDb Letterboxd ratings. This is a beloved movie, and I am no different. This is my favorite David Fincher movie. I think
I
that this
is that even a hot take? I feel like that's like
It might be. It might be because Fight Club is so beloved. The Social Network has really gained a following over time. And, those are great movies. And, of course, we'll talk about Fight Club later. But Seven is the one that just, to me, stands out
this
the
is
most among
him.
his filmography. This is
This is
uncut
him
Fincher.
as a direct. Yeah, this is him as a director. Like this is 100% him. It's unfiltered, uncut. Like it's just.
And these are
It's
both
David Fincher.
amazing successes because of David Fincher. If you put someone else at the helm, yes, the script is really good here and it features some
Right.
iconic moments, but it's because David Fincher kind of puts his, this almost feels like Gotham in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because they never mention what city they're in, and the whole city just feels like Gotham in
but it
the Robert
feels
Pattinson
like
Batman movie, where it
it
just
feels like a dark,
disgusting
city.
and
That was
grimy.
done purposely.
Oh, of course.
And I even read that every background shot that you see, it's always raining because he wanted you just to feel the dread of the city the entire movie.
Well, he succeeded because it feels like a grimy, disgusting place to basically be. So I thought about this.
Oh.
Go ahead. Do you want to like
say,
introduce the characters? Yeah,
I was
going
to
to
say this movie follows Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. They're detectives. You've got the classic case of the grizzled veteran that's retiring next week, and
he's got 7 days, baby.
Exactly, yeah, and the hot shot, young, eager to prove himself detective that's new to the city, and they don't like each other at first, but they start following this case, and this case follows a serial killer that is killing people according to the 7 deadly sins, that being gluttony, greed, sloth, envy, wrath, pride, and lust. And it is grisly. I think that's a good word to describe it. The studio was concerned that it would not do well because of the fact that it was so nasty and violent and gross, and that did not happen. I think a large part of it is because people were talking about the ending, and it was a you have to see it to believe it type of ordeal. But as great, and what we will talk about the ending plenty. But
Yes,
I
we will.
don't think that this is a movie. This isn't a reverse Devil Inside situation where I'm like, yes, I'm not liking the movie, but the ending makes it go, oh, damn, all time bad type thing. This is a great movie from beginning to end because of the fact that, I really think, yes, we've praised Fincher. I think Morgan Freeman is just fantastic here. He sells someone who has been just absolutely worn down by having to work in this city for years at a time, and he's like, I want nothing to do with this case. I just want to be gone, and I know that this thing is going to drag out and it's going to just keep getting worse. Take me off of it. And I think that the movie kind of wears you down the same way that he's been worn down by the city, and I mean that in a 100% positive way.
No, that's a fair take. I was going to go here because after watching the movie, I immediately thought, if you put someone else in Morgan Freeman's role, is the movie as good?
No.
Like I don't think you can put Denzel in the role and it's as good of a movie.
Not at this time, because he was too young, I think. And I think that you needed someone a little older to sell that, man, I've just been here for so long and I'm so beaten down by this. And also, Denzel was, he had Malcolm X, Philadelphia, Glory. He had a ton of great movies under his belt. But Morgan Freeman was also, the year prior, he had Shawshank Redemption. So he was on a bit of a hot streak of his own as well.
Like, I'm thinking, like, okay, so Tom Hanks is, like, on a hot streak, too. Like, if you put Tom Hanks in this movie, doesn't work.
No.
I think you kind of needed the young, pretty boy, hot shot type
Oh,
of
I
guy.
was thinking Morgan Freeman's character, Tom Hanks, but yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no,
I
you
think
needed
yeah,
the age and the experience.
I think well, it's not only the aging experience. I think the calmness and like the way he goes about the character is what separates it from like most actors. Like I don't think you can drop anyone in this role and it's the same movie. Like to me this is Morgan Freeman's like I'm doing incredible stuff on screen but in a very minimalistic type of way. Like I don't have to be like flashy and out there and it just works. Like it's not even like Shawshank where he's like really the catalyst of that movie and like the person that the movie revolves around. Like it very much becomes like a we're chasing after this serial killer, this unknown person, but yet he just has this whole like energy around him that just I don't know elevates the movie. And I think Brad Pitt is awesome, but if Morgan Freeman's not in it, it's not the same movie.
Morgan Freeman gives off a very calm, sophisticated, experienced kind of voice and persona in the movie that I think just comes naturally to him when he acts. Like that's no matter what
Yeah,
role and I mean, obviously everybody knows his voice is just it's just iconic. Like it's very
yeah.
soothing, but
I
just
mean, but he plays God in some movies. If we're being honest, so I mean, yeah, I mean,
I don't know what it is about it, but just in the movie, you know he's an experienced cop. You can tell he's tired. You can tell he's interested in the case. Like he's able to do all that with just a simple just change of tune in his voice ever so slightly, and everything else is kind
right.
of the same with him when he's acting. He
It's the
doesn't.
tone, it's the timbre of his voice, it's the way he talks to Brad Pitt.
Yep.
It's like the what did you think was gonna happen back there when you started questioning that one cop? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. We were trying to see where it goes. Is this Barney Fife's first day on the job? I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like good stuff. It was just like good back and forth, but it was like minimalistic. They weren't like taking over the screen, which
And
I
like,
think is a really cool like thought process.
I know he was fresh off of Interview with the Vampire, and he's been in movies prior to this, but I feel like this is the movie that put him on the map.
It's
Yeah,
the movie
probably
that
for
I
Pitt,
think
or like I'm an actor now, like that, like
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
that
especially
movie.
again, we'll talk about the ending scene, but like I feel like that whole end sequence, like you could definitely see the real acting chops coming out of
I
Brad
feel
Pitt.
like this was
I
his
mean, he went toe to toe with a legend, if we're being honest, in the
this
scene
was his
with two
this was his
legends.
Dune
Yeah,
Part
with two
2,
legends.
or this was his
Yeah,
Leo partnership with Scorsese, where it's like I'm not the pretty boy. I can take on very serious roles, and I think there's
Yep.
still a little bit of that, but it's that all right, I can, really go toe to toe with the heavy hitters in a role that
right.
needs
He's
it.
able to go dark, which is
Exactly.
something you need in
Yeah.
a
He
role.
goes dark. Like like personally, I think Calvin Booth might be one of his best performances in like Once
To
Upon a
be
Time in
honest,
Hollywood.
I feel like Brad
But
Pitt had a very similar acting trend as Robert Pattinson. He
sure,
starts off as the pretty boy. People think, oh, he's just a pretty boy, he can't act. And all of a sudden he gets a couple roles like this, but I can't remember the name of the movies that Robert Pattinson was in it after Twilight, but there was a couple
Yeah,
movies I
you
know
got Good
that
Time.
were
You've
very
got
similar.
The Lighthouse, and
and Good Time is probably
Good Time's the
Pattinson's
one I was
like
thinking of.
is
now he's
Pattinson's like
considered to
I can go
be,
dark.
one of the best actors working. And yeah, Brad
Right.
Pitt had that run
So
as well. And David Fincher and his partnership, I know they did this, they did Fight Club. He also did Curious Case of
Yep.
Benjamin Button, and he's reuniting with him to do the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel spinoff thing later this year.
yeah, so that's why I
I hear
brought up
about that.
Calvin Booth. That's why I brought up Calvin Booth because I think like Fincher gravitates towards a character like that as well. But
Mhm.
I think for Fincher to find Pitt and be like this guy, like
Now,
again, not many actors can go toe to toe
Cliff
with
Cliff Booth.
Freeman
I
and
think Calvin Booth is an NBA player.
Cliff.
Well,
Yeah, no,
I
Calvin
know
Booth is
we
an NBA player. Cliff Booth.
I know
I
we
don't know
talked
why I
about
said that. I don't know
Denzel
why.
being
Fuck
the original actor that was considered for
Calvin.
David Mills, but do you know the other actors considered for Pitt's character?
I hope there was none.
Oh, there
Wasn't
were.
it like Sylvester Stallone or some dumb shit like that?
Yes.
I'm glad Fincher
So,
landed on this.
so New Line Cinema was really going for Stallone and Steven Seagal of all people. That would have been fucking terrible. But the other ones, more notable names, were Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. Gene Hackman was the first choice, but he had just retired from acting, so he was.
Mitchell, we saw the French Dispatch. I think Gene Hackman
The
could
French Connection.
make
The French.
sorry, the French Connection. Yeah, sorry, dude, I'm all over the place.
movie.
You're keeping me on my
French
toes.
Connection.
I like it.
I think Hackman could do
Yes,
Freeman's
absolutely.
role,
I think he could,
but I don't think he can do it as well as Freeman. I actually think Freeman and him together would have been a
Well, here's the thing. A few months earlier, Gene Hackman was in a movie with Denzel Washington called Crimson Tide, and that movie's incredible. So I think that everyone ended up exactly where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
No, that's fair.
Gene Hackman still got his work. Denzel was able to get his work.
Is there
Brad Pitt, Morgan
Al
Freeman?
Pacino, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who was
Al
Freeman's
Pacino
role?
turned down the role because he thought the movie was too
I'm
dark.
seeing, Duvall,
I mean,
Pacino, Hackman.
That doesn't seem like Pacino.
That's why I'm like, that doesn't seem right. I'm like, he's been in some dark.
Doesn't Pacino likes as
yeah.
Isn't he the guy who in The Departed makes up his own scene and is like, we got to go darker?
Well, Al Pacino
Probably.
was also everyone in 1995 figured it out because you know what Al Pacino did instead? He did Heat. So everyone in 1995,
yo, we're getting a Heat sequel.
Figured
it out.
No,
it's coming.
Tommy.
No,
it stars DiCaprio and Christian Bale, so I might temper the no. I think we might be all right.
We're coming full.
I think we might be all right. Now I've never seen
Heat sequel.
I need to see Heat. We will watch it eventually. I've heard great things. There's one line from that movie that I quote, even though I haven't seen the movie. So,
yeah,
and it's from Al Pacino. If you know it, you know it. It's an all-time great.
But that's what I can't believe he thought this movie was too dark. And to be fair, it is. I was watching it during work today, and I was like, maybe I should be watching this on my work laptop. I was like, maybe I should be watching this on my work laptop.
This was a movie that I made sure to watch at nighttime because this is not a daytime movie. It's just not. Now, really. Tommy, was this your first time watching this movie?
No, this was. So I've seen it a couple of times before, but this was probably the second time watching it, actually sitting down watching.
Brandon, you saw this in theaters recently, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
now,
yeah. I saw this in theaters, and I don't know if I gave it a grade on Letterboxd.
You probably did.
I remember.
Never fucking.
I probably didn't. But I remember texting the group and being like, "Oh my god, Se7en might be the greatest movie ever made." I was like, "This is incredible."
Not greatest movie, but definitely greatest crime thriller. That genre.
Yeah, I mean, it was hyperbole, but
you can definitely see it in how many movies it's inspired since then. I mean, Shutter Island was pretty close to this kind of level.
The Batman. I mean, I know I've mentioned that a lot of times in this review, but
this is straight up Fincher. This is him. I remember seeing The Killer. What that came out
3 years ago, yeah.
3 years ago.
Distilled.
Yeah, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was good, but it was
filtered down.
it was Fincher. But this is Fincher unfiltered. Yep. This is we don't need the Brita.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to filter this bitch out.
And I appreciate Fincher's dedication to the movie because I know New Line Cinema wanted to give it a lighter toned.
Dude, they wanted to mess with this movie, right?
He stuck to his guns and he made sure that it was.
He was fresh off Alien 3 where they fucked his movie to death. So he's like, you're not doing this again.
He was like, it's a movie about deadly sins. What the fuck are you doing?
I feel like he started the trend of kind of hiding actors from the streamline to keep things secret for the movie. Because I was reading for Kevin Spacey, who just randomly shows up in the movie. they did that purposely. They kept him off of posters. They kept him out of the trailers. They kept him out of the opening credits. Like nobody knew
He's the
when
first
Kevin
person in the
Spacey
end
showed up
credits,
like on
which I think
scene.
is
Like,
cool.
hey, this is the actual killer.
Yeah. So
Even for marketing, they didn't have him involved at all. So like, I felt that was a really great decision. on
That
his
twist
part.
is very much like Damon
Yes.
in Interstellar.
when he just like pops up in
Yeah.
Interstellar, and it's like,
Yeah. So like that was, I feel like that was a great move on Fincher's part to really make sure, like when people saw this movie, everything was full surprise when they got to that part.
you do see like a little sliver of his face, and I was like, is that like when I was first watching it in theaters, I was like, is that Kevin Costner? I was like squinting. I was like, and I was like, no. I was like,
Close
it
enough.
can't be. I was like,
And
they wouldn't have. I was like, they wouldn't. He wouldn't randomly be in the movie as like a photographer. And then I was like, wait. I was like, fuck, it is him. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy.
Kevin, you with names today, man.
I know.
Kevin
That's
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. But
I want to see this alternate
if
movie
it,
that you've been making.
if it had been Kevin Costner, think about that. No, but yeah, I remember being like, oh my god, is this Spacey? And then like kind of blocking it out. And then when they reveal it's Spacey, I lost my shit because I was like, oh my
See,
god, I was
Now,
like, this guy.
it had been a little while since I've seen the movie, so when I was watching it the other night, I'm like, oh shit, I completely forgot Kevin Spacey was in
Right,
this.
you forget he's like the killer.
I first
yeah.
watched
But,
this movie 11 years ago, and before that, I already knew the famous "What's in the Box," and I knew what
See,
it was.
that's dumb. That's
So
dumb.
that was ruined for me a little bit, but it did not take away anything from the experience. Because
Yeah, do you just want to talk about
well,
ending
just
now?
quickly beforehand, I think that Gwyneth Paltrow's really, really good in this for the short amount of time that she has. She sells just anxiety, but not overwhelming anxiety.
I don't want to be
just
here,
like trying to
but
put
I
on
don't
a
wanna-
brave
I don't
face,
wanna-
but no
Right.
one in the town. And I thought that she was just fantastic for the short screen time she had.
Yeah.
And that just adds so much, especially the conversation that she has with Morgan Freeman at the at getting coffee. I thought that was a really underrated moment
Which,
of the movie.
by the way, can I point out that scene? The Foley work in that scene, incredible. Like you hear the forks banging and the dishes clanking, and it doesn't overpower their dialogue, but you very much feel like, oh, you're in a diner. Like you hear like all the like you're immersed in like the experience of like being like you're basically sitting next to them is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool like Foley moment for me because you don't always get those moments with like Foley work and like the soundscape of a movie, but I feel like they really dove in on this movie to make like the soundscape sound the way it does.
Well,
And
also
I
the
like that.
train going by every like couple minutes, like just
Oh
to feel
yeah,
the chaos.
at their house. Yeah,
The train is pretty good. Yeah, the train's another one where it's just like she's like, I don't want to be a burden to him. Like he's going through so much right now. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant, and also I hate living here, and I can't find a teaching job because this might be the worst city to live in. And I'm like, that's a lot to like carry around as baggage. And she does a phenomenal job. Like their conversation it's like real and like raw, and it's very good conversation.
So we get Kevin Spacey coming into the police station, just blood all over him, and you know that he's the guy, and he says, "Look, I will confess to everything. I got the last two bodies. They're they're out in the I'll take you to them, but it has to be these two to take me to them in order for me to confess." So cool. They do that, and the dialogue, you feel the length of the drive over there, and the dialogue between Brad Pitt and Kevin Spacey, and you can tell that Spacey's getting in his head a little bit. But also you can tell that Kevin Spacey is very calculated, but not above the verbal sparring with Brad Pitt.
When he says, I can't wait for you to witness what's about to happen,
Mhm.
I was like, because like once you know what the twist is, you're like, that is a sadistic like fucking thing to say to someone. And it's like, yeah, it's just like he was like, oh, don't you worry, you're this is gonna be remembered. And it's like,
That
that's
The
crazy.
crazy thing to me is
whole
the
sequence is
FedEx
incredible,
guy
going back
coming out
after
in the
that.
middle of nowhere
Yeah,
with a damn.
the FedEx guy at
He's just
7
like,
p-
can I
7
just
a.m.
go,
No,
man?
my favorite part was when they show up and there's a dead dog in the road. He's like, I didn't do that. I've killed so many other people, but no, I'm not claiming that dead dog.
That's not on me. And of course, you get the famous, they've got the helicopter. Kevin Spacey's talking to Brad Pitt. Morgan Freeman's going investigating the box, and everyone quotes the John Doe or the what's in the box. But my favorite line is, John Doe has the upper hand now, and that's how you just know
Yeah.
that things are incredibly real. And also, Morgan Freeman's demeanor throughout the whole movie makes his demeanor in this particular scene where he's just like, fuck,
Yes.
I'm going to throw my gun out. I'm going to bitch slap Kevin Spacey.
He's like, put your gun away.
Yeah,
Put your gun away.
Please don't do this. If you do this, then he will have completed what he wants to do, because Brad Pitt is the last, if he kills Kevin Spacey, then that is the final of the 7 deadly sins. That he wants him to become Wrath in order to complete the whole thing.
Yeah.
What is crazy is he is like, I am envious of your life as a normal person. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like next level writing. I was like, and the way he delivers it too. It's like you are such a sick person too. But I mean, of course he is, but he's like, one of my favorite quotes was when he was like, "Oh, you would want me to be insane. That would make you feel more comfortable." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good one." Like, there's just like little like stuff thrown in that drive that then get amplified while they're sitting there, and he just is basically inside of Pitt's head, and is like, "Mills, you gonna do it? Like pull, like basically you're saying like pull the trigger." Like, I dare you to pull the trigger. Become vengeance, become wrath.
And you get the final line of the movie where Morgan Freeman says, Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part. And that is the tone of this movie. This is, if you want, hey, I want everything wrapped up with a bow. Yeah, it can be wrapped up with a bow, but that box has a fucking head in it. So it's not the happy Hollywood ending that you might be used to. And
the crazy thing is how. So he talks about how like no one's gonna remember this like 2 months from now. Like you're there's gonna be no history for you, like no footnote or whatever. Like in reality, in this like movie realm, in this universe, how like popular do you think that like serial killer is? It's probably like that's probably like a well remembered like crime spree, and the ending to it and everything. Like, it goes against everything that Brad Pitt was like.
I would
saying.
say that if like all of the details emerged, that's like a Zodiac killer level popularity type thing.
Right.
So
I mean, all the like 200 notebooks that he had written through.
Yeah.
Which
just insane.
Which fun fact? Apparently, the cast and I guess a bunch of like employees of the film spent a month or two literally just writing random shit in notebooks for those scenes.
Oh, okay.
So those are actual just ramblings of them just trying to be in touch with a serial killer's mind and like, what kind of crazy stuff can I put into a notebook?
The one that they read out loud and it's like the banality of that guy's conversation, like made me throw up on him, and then I just started laughing. I was like, bro, this serial killer is like another level. Like, most serial killers are like, how can I blend in with society? And this guy is like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna blend in, but also like, I hate it here. And I'm like, geez, I'm like, this is
this is a Hall of Fame movie for me. And I honestly thought it would be just a little bit higher. I thought this was going to get into the 90s. It did not get into the 90s for me. I'm at an A+, 80.76. So it is still a damn good movie. But I also think that it gets brought down just a little bit because I saw this movie for the first time in 2015. And when I saw it then, it was like a top 5 all-time movie for me. And I didn't watch it again until a few weeks ago when I watched it for this. This just doesn't really have the rewatchable factor for me.
Yeah, well, it's
Fair.
still a great movie, but yeah, once you have that big, spoiler twist in the movie kind of known to you, it loses a bit of that surprise factor. I think that really gives this movie the edge that it has.
You gonna grade it?
But
Yeah. Do you have a?
patience. With that, A plus 75.
Okay, so it's a Hall of Famer for you as well.
Hall of
Good.
Oh, of course.
Triple Hall of Fame?
Love that. I'm making. Well, yeah, I know it's definitely Triple Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to figure out where it is. Yeah, this is A plus 85.5.
Okay.
And that would put it in between The Fellowship of the Ring and Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Respectable.
Right now, as far as
This
things that we have
movie
reviewed,
is awesome.
I've got it just above Pulp Fiction and just below Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So it's in great company. In fantastic company. Now let's talk about, again, we're going to break the rule, is what it is. Fight Club. David Fincher's, was it his next movie or did he do The Game? When did he release The Game? The Game was, okay, he did The Game in between Se7en and Fight Club. So we had that going on. But then in 1999, iconic movie year, he puts out Fight Club, October 15th, 1999, starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Bonham Carter. Budget of $65 million, makes $102 million. Not a successful movie. This was the, 54th highest grossing movie in North America in 1999. Just behind 10 Things I Hate About You. But those two movies have proven, as if anybody needed any, other proof. Just because you didn't kill at the box office does not mean that you are not going to be remembered for a long, long time. Because,
that is the beauty of the title of the classic.
Runaway Bride was number 9. Who the hell talks about Runaway Bride anymore? Absolutely nobody. People are always talking about 10 Things I Hate About You. People are always talking about Fight Club, whether Tyler Durden likes it or not. Let's go back to that IMDb top 250 and take a look at where Fight Club is, because this is a movie that has an 8.8 on IMDb.
That is crazy.
And it is number 13 of all time on that list. On Letterboxd, 4.3 out of 5, and it is number 203 on that top 250. And I think that, because I remember this movie was like number 6 on IMDb's top 250 like 12, 13 years ago. I do think it has dropped a bit because of people that just completely misunderstand the movie, and it has gained a reputation of being a bit of like a, I don't want to say like a fuck boy like favorite, but just people that, the same people that watch The Wolf of Wall Street and think like, well, the takeaway is that he's cool, and it's like it's a lot more.
The takeaway is domestic terrorism is the way to go.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Congratulations for getting on that list, Brandon.
We should just blow up. We should blow up buildings.
If you look in any deeper than that, then you'll actually understand what the movie is.
I am a little pissed off at them because they went after a Starbucks, which is
Fuck
not
Starbucks.
cool. That's my
Planet Starbucks, dude. He even says it. They're gonna start calling it Planet Starbucks, and they went after it anyway.
I remember, first of all,
can I? I don't want to like play my cards here, but it's a weird ass.
This is a strange movie.
Yeah.
And I think that I'll get it out there. I do not like this movie as much as Se7en, and I probably don't like it as much as a lot of other people, even though I do still love this movie.
I like the movie.
This was probably David Fincher's most daunting task, was because this is based on a book, and making this thing cohesive and not easy to follow, but digestible, I guess it might be the word. while adding the
Is the
David
plot in the
Fincher.
book the
I haven't read the
same?
book, so I don't know. While
Okay, I'm gonna
I,
look that up
I
because
don't know, but I do know that the ending of the book was different, and apparently the author liked the movie version more. I don't know what the difference was. I didn't look it up,
that's
but
fair.
that much I know.
Most of the time they hate that, so the fact that he
Yeah.
really likes the ending is interesting. But yeah, Mitchell, digestible is a good way of putting it. Because even then, I don't think this movie's very digestible. It is like the plot twist is like interesting, but at the end of the day, I'm like, Memento does this better. Like,
now this here
I don't know.
was
It's weird.
this was premiered at the Venice International Film Festival in September of 1999, and it got booed at that film festival. And Brad Pitt turned to Edward Norton after after the movie ended and said, "I will never be in a better movie than that one." And they've taken their victory laps over the years as people have come around on this movie, because when it came out it was divisive. When it came out, I think it had like a 60 or 70 something on Rotten Tomatoes. That has eventually gone up. I think it's an 81. But there are people that, it's been criticized. There have been people that have written that this is a Nazi piece of work, which I
I mean, I can't argue with it, but also like that's kind of
It's
extreme.
anti-society, which you're gonna get people that criticize that kind of work. And again, cinema is art. What artists do we like? How many artists have been known to just be criticized and shit on, and then after they die, all of a sudden all their work is like glorified? Same thing with movies. A lot of times these divisive movies are picked on for artistic choices or interesting, weird storylines like this, and then all of a sudden it's like 10, 15 years later, they're all of a sudden these cult classic movies that everybody loves. So I'm not surprised a movie like this was kind of booed a little bit.
So this movie's about a guy played by Edward Norton who he cannot sleep. He suffers from insomnia.
Insomnia.
That's what it was called. I was gonna say dyslexia. That's not it at all. He suffers from
Yeah.
insomnia. He goes
He probably does suffer from
probably,
dyslexia.
yeah.
That's a different story.
No, among other things. And he goes to all of these different support groups because he feels like he can cry when he sees and spends time with people that are in actual real pain. And so he goes to all these support groups for things like testicular cancer, and he cries with these people, but then he sees someone else doing it, and he's like, well, damn, I can't do it.
He's like, you
Yeah.
tourist, you liar.
Yeah, the mirror's getting held up to him, and he does not
I
like
love
it.
how he confronts her. He's like, "These are my groups. You need to go find your own." Like,
And
what?
I love that they're just like, all right, I'll take testicular cancer on Tuesdays. You take this on Mondays.
I want brain parasites.
So this was my first time ever seeing this movie.
Really? Okay. I've seen it a handful of times.
So
Yeah, I've seen it one other time.
I
So I've seen it twice now, and it's
like obviously I knew it was about a fight club. Like that was obviously a
well,
given.
yeah.
And so just watching the first 20 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie actually about?
Yeah.
Did I get this wrong? Is there no fight club? What?
What's with the
Surprise.
bar of soap on the
Yeah.
poster?
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on?
I had so many questions. But I'm like, I was like, I just gotta see it through. We'll figure this out at the end. Hopefully things get answered, which obviously they did. But yeah, the whole support.
I mean,
group,
kind of answered, and then they kind of just flipped the movie on its
This
head.
is
and
very
Honestly,
much
yeah,
a 1999 movie, and it fits in with something like American Beauty, which Brandon and I, that was one of the first movies that we reviewed with Kevin Spacey,
it's a good movie.
where there was a big thing in the 90s where it was like, we are just so bored because we can do anything, and it's like, wow, really wish I was living through that period of time because we can't do shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, when we go home to this abandoned like house and we squat for like however long they're squatting, there's no one within 2 miles of them either way. Like, I find that hard to believe. Like, you're telling me in a city there's like not a homeless person living, like,
Yeah,
doing the same
yeah,
thing that
them.
they're doing, squatting. Yeah, Yeah, I guess so. But they're just like hitting golf balls, like on like a 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and they're like, there's a plot line in this movie where he's like, I need to blackmail my boss to basically get free to basically get like a free year's worth of paychecks. Basically, I don't have to work, but I want them to pay me for it because I'm going to blackmail this guy just so we can have Fight Club every single day instead of only having Fight Club on like Saturdays or Tuesdays or Thursdays or like it was just so funny that they were like, it became such a big thing that it was like, we have to have this every single night. And I was like, that's problematic. Like, what, like, don't you have like other things to do? But apparently they didn't.
Well,
Apparently they could do
that's
whatever
the
the fuck
thing.
they wanted.
You would think it would be problematic, but we already start the movie off with a guy who needs to go to support groups just to cry.
Yeah.
So obviously we're talking about a very distorted.
Obviously we don't care about problems. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
Can I jump ahead a little bit to the twist?
Go for it.
Jump wherever
I
you
think
want, because I think the twist
I
is
think that was
ridiculous.
my biggest
Personally,
complaint of this movie. I don't like that kind of storytelling when all of a sudden it's like you spend a whole movie with this character, and I guess I don't know if there were signs that like maybe I'm just stupid and just completely missed all the signs of like, hey, they're the same person. But it's like you go a whole movie and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this guy actually wasn't there for any of these scenes. It was just him hitting himself and going crazy. It kind of felt dumb to me. I was like, I don't know.
you mean throwing yourself on the ground in the middle of the parking lot isn't like cool?
I'm just trying to figure out how that
like the whole
attracted a bunch of people.
How people saw
They're
that?
like, hell
they're
yeah,
like,
let me do this.
Fight. They're like, Fight Club, baby. I'm like, that's just
that I could see, because you, especially living in the tri-state area, there's a lot of people that would be like, you know, if it was legal to pull someone over right now and just beat the shit out of them because of how stupid they're being, there's so many people that would do that.
Sure,
And
but
if you can have a club where you can innocently do it with no strings attached, no personal fouls.
No personal fouls.
I get the concept of Fight Club. Don't get me wrong. Like, to get your like energy out, anger out, whatever it is, and like, yeah, no strings attached type of environment. Like, I get it, but I just find it, like Mitchell said, very odd that they saw this guy flailing around in the parking lot and we're like,
yeah.
what is this guy doing? He's like,
So
I'm fighting myself.
and the fact that
Busting his lip.
I found it very interesting that their whole cult started with, hey, if you can stand outside his door and handle just verbal harassment for 3 days straight and not eat, you're in. That was such a weird initiation.
That's a weird initiation. The one day where he's like, you guys all have a homework assignment. You need to go fight a stranger and lose. And it's like, you just see them trying to like pick a fight with people. And it's like, yes, normal everyday people are not going to be like, let me fight this complete rando on the street.
Mhm.
There are people that will do that because there are people that are like that. But I mean,
but just going back now, like if I were to rewatch the movie, like the scene where it's just him and Brad Pitt coming out in turns harassing people, I'm like, so they just got screamed at by the same guy for 3 days straight, and they said, yeah, this is where I really want to be with my life. It's wild,
dude. And it was every type of person.
Yes,
it was just like random people too. And I think that's like what like draws some people in. They're like, oh yeah, like this is such a cool movie, and it's like that's not really what the movie is about. Like,
yeah, and I have to say, like, I like both of their performances, but to me, Brad Pitt still is the movie. Like, this is his movie, regardless of how much it's supposed to be about Edward Norton's character.
And Norton is a good actor. He's technically very good actor, very good.
But Brad Pitt's just like insane mindset throughout the movie, and just the way he talks to people and all of his actions. Like, it was a fascinating character to watch for 2.5 hours or however long this movie was.
His relationship with Marla. Can we get into that?
Oh, absolutely.
You have some Marla takes, Mitchell?
Well, that was another thing that, like, the scene where Edward Norton is standing out in the hallway while they're having sex. I'm like, so wait, was he not in the hallway? Was he in the bedroom? What the fuck?
It was in his head. Yeah, he was in the
It just so
bedroom.
weird. Yes, go ahead with Marla.
No, it's a great
Yeah,
it's a great Helena Bonham Carter performance. I think that in order for this movie to really work,
good.
I mean, you have to really buy the struggle between her and Edward Norton at the beginning. And then Brad Pitt just has to come, and again, for this movie to really work, Brad Pitt has to come in and just steal the show and take all the attention. And that is exactly what Brad Pitt does in this movie. Brad Pitt,
he even does it in like Marla's relationship, like the relationship. He's just like, get rid of her, and it's like, what do you mean get rid of her? Like, you're the one who's like having a relationship.
I watched this movie while eating a pizza, and I think I threw the pizza out of the window watching Brad Pitt in this movie because, good Lord, what the hell is that ab routine? That's just insanity right there. It's kind of
you were like that. You were like that would never happen to me.
That's just wow. But he is a force of force of nature in this movie, and you got a lot of people thinking that that's just. I think that again, maybe one of the reasons why this has dropped a little bit is because this was like a new thing, and so many people think that they go around being quick-witted and kind of talking the way that he does now, and it's just like, yeah, well, that's every douchebag with a YouTube channel, that's every person that has a political podcast thinks they sound like this. When
I'm quick-witted, it's not to be like an asshole. Like,
sometimes I have my asshole moments, but I like to think that I'm a little more, considerate.
But this dude is just like, he's like, yeah, just tell him you blew up the place. Like, what do you know? Like, he's on the other line with the cops. He's like, tell him you did it. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, you don't need material possessions. It's fine. I'm like, okay.
We've done a lot of talking about Brad Pitt. The Brandon and I particularly.
Yeah.
This is not my favorite Brad Pitt performance. I still think that is Inglourious Bastards. I think that my two favorite.
I think he makes the movie.
I think that my two favorite performances of his are both of his Tarantino movies, but
so Cliff Booth.
Yeah, Cliff Booth and why am I blanking on?
I am blanking on the name.
Aldo Rain. And I want my scalps.
Yeah, Aldo Rain.
Yeah, no, I think that is the best performance of his career. But this is damn good work. And
this was just a really fun, unhinged character
I'll
to
say,
watch.
I also can't argue with him that, like, if he believes this is the best movie he's ever been in, I wonder if that opinion has changed now that he's done like Inglourious Bastards and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
and F1. I love F1
and
but
F1.
Okay, so spoiler alert for my grade. I did not give this an A+. And I think a large part of that is because, and I've seen this movie a handful of times, but my opinion on this has never changed. I don't give a fuck about Project Mayhem. Once we really get like into the weeds, and it's no longer these two characters and they're back and forth, and it's more into Project Mayhem and what Project Mayhem has going on, I don't give a damn about Project Mayhem. I never have. That's when I start to tune out a little bit, when you've got like Jared Leto talking about like the rules of Project Mayhem, and that's just kind of where, like, all right, I'm kind of falling off a little bit.
Think we're
they said you would say he said you would say that. I'm like, what are we talking about right now?
I don't think we were supposed to care about Project Mayhem. I think we were supposed to care about the repercussions it had on his character towards the end.
I'm saying I don't care about any of it.
Blowing up 10 buildings? You mean blowing up 10 buildings isn't like a cool thing to do on like a Wednesday night?
I mean, hey,
how many times do you want to get flagged for this, Brandon?
Dude, they know we're talking about Fight Club. It's fine.
Yeah, but we're already not supposed to be doing that, Brandon.
Yeah, fair.
But I don't think we were supposed to care about Project Mayhem. It was just a way of showing his alter ego taking over his personality more and more, and him losing himself. And then he finally has that snap moment where he comes back to reality. I think that's really the only purpose that Project Mayhem had, was just was for that purpose.
I gotta be honest. I don't love that Brad Pitt is like his alter ego.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm saying.
think
That
it kind of
part of the
ruins the
story ruined
movie.
it for me.
I think it
I
kind of
know
ruins the
that,
plot.
I feel like it was a cheap, like, I feel like it was done much better, that sort of storyline with Shutter Island, where it's like, all this has been fake. It's been you kind of making a whole story for
Yeah.
yourself. Whereas
Or
this,
like he can't remember things like Memento. Like that's done
exactly,
better too. Yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't terrible, but it's just not my favorite storyline that they could have went with. I feel like they could have done something different. But
I think that's source material, and there's nothing Fincher can do with that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm with Mitchell that this is like an impossible movie to like bring together, and he does like a pretty good job of bringing it all together at the very end. And like, yes, I don't care about Project Mayhem. I really don't care about anything in the last like 35 minutes of the film because I'm just sitting there going like, what am I watching? Like, so this dude's just been throwing himself downstairs for like 3 weeks. Like, what are we? Like, I just don't understand. Again, kind of what Mitchell was saying, how you have this much time on your hands. Like, no one
he doesn't sleep.
said anything to him. Like, I don't get it.
Well, that was part of like the whole him having insomnia is like when he was sleeping. That's when Tyler Durden came out to play.
Crazy Tyler Durden stuff.
But
And then Marla's like, "What do you mean you're not Tyler Durden?" I'm like,
yeah, that whole it. I just didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the movie up to that part. I still enjoyed the ending. Like it was just chaotic and unhinged.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like a critical aspect, like I don't think it was worth rating it.
It's not an A+. I mean, flat out, this is not the 13th best movie of all time.
Now, alternative casting, I thought were some interesting choices.
Oh no.
Tyler Durden, Russell Crowe, or Sean Penn.
No.
Edward Norton was considered Matt Damon.
I could see that.
Okay.
He could have pulled that off.
Yeah. But Russell Crowe or Sean Penn, I don't think could have pulled it off.
No, and I love them as actors.
I think,
but not for this.
I think Norton works. I think Norton works as like a background character to Pitt's character.
Yeah, I think.
Now, for Marla, Helena Bonham Carter was definitely the top choice. Winona Ryder, Reese Witherspoon, and Sarah Michelle Gellar were the follow-ups. I don't see any of them.
Winona would have been good. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar would have been pretty good too. I cannot see Reese Witherspoon.
I just can't see
Elle Woods
like,
doing that. No.
Winona Ryder I could see because she's got that dark persona already, but like Reese and Sarah, I can't see pulling off like the dirty, unhinged kind of character.
No, I could. I've seen Cruel Intentions. Sarah Michelle Gellar could do it.
Okay.
I've also
but not Reese Witherspoon.
No.
I can't see her doing it.
Yeah, I think Winona would have been really good too. But I think that those all, except for Reese Witherspoon, make sense. Sean Penn and Russell Crowe as Tyler Durden, especially Sean Penn. I don't get that at all. No. This is a damn good movie. I do really enjoy it. When I eventually get to 1999, this is going to be in the top 10. But it's not going to be number one. I've already seen multiple movies that I think are better than it from that year. 3 of them to be exact. I've got an A 73.77 for this one.
I've got an A 88.9. I don't think it's a 5-star movie and one of the best movies of all time. Just flat out.
I'm a little higher just because I think it's my first time watch, but I think if I watch it again, I feel like I won't be as high, but I was A+5.
Okay, so it did sneak in for you.
I mean, just basically, if we're being honest, it's not really.
My opinion.
But I think if I rewatch it, it would not be as high.
My opinion has not really. My opinion has actually kind of gone up through the years, but the problems that I have remained the same.
I've seen this twice, and I have the same issues with it both times. Where I get like to the 35 minutes left mark, or like 30 minutes left, and I'm just like,
I'm ready to
"What
be
are we
done.
doing?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the
Yeah, I
David
think
Fincher double feature. 3 Hall of Fame picks, and Fight Club 2 A's and an A plus. Next up for us, let's see what
Fincher.
we got.
Let's
What we got
go.
next? We have not quite the end, but we're almost there with the Alien and Predator movies. We've got the 2024, or rather 2025, Dan Trachtenberg Predator double feature. We've got the animated movie Predator Killer of Killers, and we have Predator Badlands, which I can't remember if anybody had that on their top 10 of 2025 when we did that podcast, but there's a chance that maybe someone did, but we'll get to go more in depth with that next week. And then we have a to be determined once we get off the air or whatever for this one. We're going to argue about what random movie we're going to be doing for the next show, because there's just a web of things we need to untangle with that and how we're going to be doing this. So that could go one of a million different directions. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, we wrap up Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. We say goodbye to the Alien and Predator franchise. Rank them all. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking with you guys about that. And go watch the Dune 3 trailer if you haven't. Please go do it. Go see the Odyssey when that comes out soon.
I say it every year. If Timothy doesn't win the award,
cinema's in a good place. We were getting great stuff from Fincher in the 90s. We're getting great stuff now. Go and just watch all this stuff. Bye. Bye.